Welcome to Becoming with Adeola Azaria. And today, like I said last week, I have something big for us. And before we dive into what I have for us today, I want us to subscribe, to like, to share, and to tag, because I'm sure someone out there needs this message. Please do that for me. Okay. Diving into today's topic because I'm so excited. You remember the song we used to sing when we were young? One of our childhood rhymes. Let me try and sing it. My voice. Don't laugh at my voice. So just use it like that. Wherever you go. Wherever you see echo. Do not say yes when you mean to say no. Baba Ibadan. I just had to put that Baba Ibadan. I had to put that Sisi. I had to do that go. Yeah, so today I don't want us to focus on Baba Ibadan, Sisi. Today we're focusing on something bigger. And I don't want to forget, last week I'm sure we've learned to be more accountable. It's a journey. It might not be so easy, but trust me, we'll get there. It's a process. And like I always say, becoming is a journey and not a destination. Yeah, like I said, today we'll be talking about the yes syndrome. How no creates space for the best yes. And I'm sure we're thinking, Azaria, what are you talking about? I should not say yes. See, let me refer back to the song. Even from the song, we've been taught this wisdom from childhood, but we missed it. How did we miss it? I would say me. I'm not going to generalize on everyone. I would say for me and for people that are like me as well. The journey started from our childhood. You remember those times when a strange uncle, maybe those uncles that we're not used to, or aunties. We have our favorite aunties and uncles that we can't wait to see, that will jump at them when they come. But there's some people that we rarely see. And those times they come to the house. And when they come, you just see our parents' eyes or whatever, or our guardian, and they just do it like this. That you just have a brain reset and just pretend to be the good girl, good boy. You must not, and they come and they give us something, even if it's something we don't like. We just have to say, they'll say, do you like it? We say, yes, so nice, so beautiful, we love it. And inside you're screaming, like, what is this? But you just have to continue pretending that, I like it. We've been taught that through our culture since young age. It's just like going to someone's house and they give you a food and they're like, and you just took the first spoon or first whatever of the food and you just tasted it and the food was off. And the host is just like, you can see, I really tried. I prepared this meal just for you. It's delicious. And you're wondering that, are you kidding me in your head? How is this one delicious? But you still have to put up that smell. This is so yummy. Yummy. And your head is doing all those 1,000,001 play and saying, once I get out of this place, I just need to go and puke somewhere, So we've learned to always say yes to a lot of things and we're used to it. So it's some sort of should I say addiction? I'm not a therapist, but I would say maybe a subtle addiction to just say yes to a lot of things. And some of us have just learned to say yes to everything. Even if we don't like it, even if it's not comfortable, we just can't say no. And today we're diving deep into learning how to say no. And I'm going to tell us some of the reasons why we struggle to say no. The first one is the FOMO. The fear of missing out. We don't always want to miss out. It's just like, our friends are going on a trip and are like, we're going somewhere. Azaria, would you like to go? And you know that your budget can't take it. But you don't want to be the odd one out. You don't want to appear to be the boring friend. You don't want them to talk about you and say that you're very broke. So you struggle to do it. And you know that. After doing that, you're going to take a lot of barium sulfate, if I'm allowed to say that on here. You know what barium sulfate is? In my culture, there's one of our staple food, gari. We call it barium sulfate slang just to make it look good. Because you know that you're going to drink gari for the next 3 weeks for doing that. But you don't mind and you want to be crying and be smiling just because you just want to appear like the best friend or like the friend that can always do things. And for me, I feel that that spanned out from not knowing who we truly are. Because if you truly know who you are, nobody can ever make you feel less of yourself. Because if you truly know that, if I spend this money and I don't prioritize, where would I get another one? Or if I follow these people, how would I be able to do my deliverable? How will I be able to deliver my work? How will I be able to do certain things? And it's a whole lot of, some people even go, I remember when I was young, I want to drift a little. I remember when I was young, when I go to before learning how to say no, I remember when I go to the salon, and I showed the hairdresser a certain style that this is what I want. And it happened like once or twice. And they'll start doing rubbish. And I don't like it, but I don't know how to say that I don't like it. And in my head, I already know that as I'm leaving that salon, once I get home, I'm going to remove that style. I'm going to remove it. I just don't like it. But I just don't want to be the bad girl in the salon, or I feel that if I say it, they might not even shout at me. I just don't want to hurt the person. I don't want to disappoint the person. I don't want the person to feel bad. So I struggle just to accept certain things. And I realized that, number one, it makes you spend more money. Number two, it depletes you. Number three, it makes you even more tired. It gives you burnout. Because why are you doing this? Who are you trying to appear good for just because you want to say yes? Another reason why we struggle to say no is fear of disappointing others. We're scared of disappointing our friends. Imagine probably one of your friends is getting married and the Aso Ebi is something so high that is above your budget. And you know that truly deep down, you know that you can't afford it. But you don't want to look bad. You don't want to disappoint your friend. And you squeeze yourself to just buy the Aso Ebi. And you even look at the Aso Ebi and you see that it's not even your kind of style of fashion, the fabric. And you realize that probably you just even wasted money. And after buying the Aso Ebi, you need to go and start looking for money to even sew the Aso Ebi. Aso Ebi is a different thing. To even sew it is another thing. And you just got yourself in a bad mess. When you look at it, we need to truly understand who we truly are. Because if we do, and we can accept no, I know accepting no is not easy, it's a learning process. So when we get to the point that we can truly accept no, like if you put yourself in your friend's shoes, that okay, if you're the one getting married and one of your friends says, oh, I can't buy the Aso Ebi, how would you feel? Would you feel bad? But if you try to put yourself in other people's shoes and understand that probably they cannot afford it at this particular time, and there's no ill feeling, everybody is fine, and you feel much better about it. So we need to understand ourselves and accept that it's not like I'm a bad person, it's just the reality of things that right now at this point it's just not working. I cannot afford it. I love my friend, I'm going to show up at my friend's wedding and I'm going to explain to my friend and say, babes, see, I love you, or guy, I love you, but this is how it is. Don't mind, no ill feeling. I know it's not easy because it's a culture in a society, but we need to learn to accept the fact and not feel bad that we're disappointing our friends. Let them know the true situation of things. It doesn't make us a bad person. It's just knowing who we truly are and understanding our capability at that particular time. Yeah, like I was saying, another reason why we struggle to say no is we don't even understand that saying no is actually a yes to something else. Like if you say no, it might be a yes to resting. You need to rest so that you do not burn out. Saying no can be a yes to, yes, I need to finish my deliverable so that I don't get sacked at work. So saying no might be a yes, saying no might be a yes to something else higher than what we ever imagined. And another reason that we also struggle to say no is that we have this inner feeling in us that no is final. So we just don't want to say it. We feel that if we say no, that's the end. That's it. But we don't feel comfortable saying no. We need to understand the fact that saying no is not final. It just means not now. There's a better time for this. So we need to get to the point that we understand in us that if we say no, it is not final. It just means not now. There's a much more better time later for that particular thing. So now, today, I have a question for us. Before you start saying no's, I want you to think for a second. Are you ready to start accepting no's? If you're okay with it and you don't feel any type of way and you're like, oh, I'm good, yes, I don't mind, then you're good. And if you feel some type of way and you feel like, you feel shrinked, you feel like, oh, you don't want to hurt anyone, you still feel like, it makes you feel somehow, that means you're still on your journey to learning how to say no. And I don't want you to beat yourself up on that, because that is what we're dealing with today. How to learn how to say no that creates space for the best yes. Think about this, like our elders say in Africa, that if you chase 2 rats, you actually catch none. And that means that if you put yourself in a lot of things, you end up not being focused and you just don't do anything. And you find yourself being everywhere and you can't really hit the targets. You can't do the things that are much more important for you to do. You can't set your priorities right because you're everywhere. So the main thing you're meant to focus on, you're not even doing that. Using Steve Jobs as an example, he rejected hundreds of ideas just to focus on Apple. And we can see how big Apple is today. No need to please everyone. And like I said earlier, don't chase 2 rats and end up catching none. Stay focused and discover the beauty in saying and accepting no. No creates space for the best yes. And no actually protects our energy. And lastly, no keeps you focused on what truly matters. And remember, on Becoming with Adeola Azaria, we're all learning together. And I'll be sharing with us ways to say no without feeling guilty. The gentle no. Like saying, I would love to, but I can't at the moment. It's not seeming rude and it's not giving sharp vibes that anyone will feel bad about it. Tones down and everyone feels good. It makes both parties, you and the person you're telling, they think about it and say, okay, true. She would have loved to, or he would have loved to, but can't do at the moment. It's not sending any bad vibes. The delayed no will tell the other party, oh, let me check my schedule and I'll get back to you on it. So that tells the person that, okay, I want to think about it. I want to check my priorities, think about everything I have in front of me to know if I can accept it or to say yes or no. So we let the person know ahead so the person can look for alternative, because the person knows that you're not sure if you'd say yes or no. So they're not putting their mind to it that, okay, this person said yes. They redirect no, telling the person, I can't do this, but I have someone who might be able to do or who might be able to help on this. So that means we're telling the other party that I can't do this due to certain reasons. It could be time, it could be other priorities, but I can refer someone else who is able to do that if the person is available to do that. So the other party knows that, okay, this person is not available. I can wait for whoever the person is referring, or I look for another alternative outside this. And nobody feels bad about anything. And on this journey, when you start practicing all the things I shared in this episode, it gets to a point that people start taking your yes as yes and your no as no. And it builds integrity. All the things I've been sharing might sound or seem like an arc. And I don't want us to start overusing no, saying no when we need to say yes. We need to put a balance on it. So please come closer. Don't overuse your no. Say no when you need to say no, and say yes when you need to say yes. And like today's topic says that, the yes syndrome, saying no to create space for the big yes. So don't overuse your no and don't overuse your yes. Use them rightly and don't lie. And like I always say, I am not a therapist. We're all learning together. We're all journeying together on becoming. Here's my challenge for this week. I want you to practice saying no. Not because you're mean and not because you don't care about others, but because you're creating space for that big yes. Your best yes is waiting on the other side of a big, bold no. And until next week, stay intentional, stay true to yourself, and remember you were made for more. And next week, we'll be diving into another bigger topic: street smart versus God smart. Street smart versus God smart. We're not talking about that now. So till next week, I remain your super duper awesome host, Adeola Azaria. And this is Becoming with Adeola Azaria podcast. And don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to tag, and don't forget to share this page. See you next week.